Good evening, Brian. It's Tuesday. Also, it's already 10:30 on Tuesday, and I'm just now getting to my vlog. Holy crap, hopefully this is short and quick and easy and doesn't require many edits, and I can get it up very soon. Part of the reason that I'm late tonight was dinner. Dinner took a long time to make, but it was amazing. If you look at my Instagram page, I'm sure you'll see it, but it was this delicious Vietnamese noodle salad bowl that was awesome. I'm not sad that I ate that dinner, but now it's super late and I'm having to rush. So tonight I want to talk about video games, specifically the top 5 video games that I feel like made the biggest impact on me so far. The first one I want to talk about is Super Smash Brothers. I really have fond memories of this game. Me and the kids in the neighborhood who were all my same age used to all get together and play, and it was a really fun game. It was nice because you could sort of just pick it up when you had 15 minutes and play, and it was just match-based, so there's no real storyline or plot. You could just pick it up and play and then be done, and it was great. But it was a really nice way for everyone to get together and play and share, and it really showed that video games can be a social activity as well. The next game I want to talk about is Metroid Prime. This was one of the first video games I ever remember playing that I was just stunned at how beautiful it was. Not only in the aesthetics, but also the rich lore and storyline they built into the game, as well as just how it plays. It was just truly an experience, and I love that game so much. The next one I want to mention is Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I love the Legend of Zelda franchise in general, but The Wind Waker was the first game that I really played through start to finish, and it's amazing. But just the fact that it's the huge, giant worlds, and there's all the exploring aspects to it, plus the fact that it's, got that animation style, and it's funny. The game just has a real sense of wonder and fun when you play it that I just look back on super fondly, and I could still start that game today and be super enthralled as I played through it. It's just a great game, and I really like it a lot. The next one I want to talk about is called Braid. I'm sure you remember this. It was an arcade game you bought on the Xbox Live Arcade, but it basically takes the side-scrolling platformer style and turns it on its head. It's a puzzle-based game, but it uses time manipulation-based puzzles, and so you're not used to thinking about things in that way and having to figure out puzzles in that way. So it really was almost like a brain-breakingly hard game at some points, but it walked the line perfectly between being super, super, super hard and having to make you rethink everything to figure it out, but not being quite so hard. It was just unhard enough that you could still figure out most of the puzzles if you really sat down and figured it out. So it was that perfect amount of difficulty. Any harder and it would have been impossible, any easier and it wouldn't have taken advantage of the really unique time manipulation puzzles that it had in the game. The last game I want to talk about is actually an app for smartphones. It's called Monument Valley. This game won a lot of awards back in, I think, 2014 when it was released, but it's just a really, really fun puzzler game where you have to manipulate the environment, and it plays with perspectives and illusions to have you solve those puzzles. But it's beautiful, both the aesthetics of the game as well as the sound design, and just really every minute detail in that game you can tell has a lot of thought put into it, and it's just a beautiful game start to finish. It is a little short and it is a paid app, but I still think it's absolutely worth the money and worth getting and worth playing. It won't take you long to complete it, but it's just a beautiful game. A couple honorable mentions that I wouldn't feel right about not mentioning. Diablo 2, this was my first real fantasy RPG game, and I loved it so much, and I have such great memories of it, and I would play it right now if I still had all 4 of the discs that you had to use to play it. Also, the Pokemon Game Boy games. This style of game I feel like is really unique, and those games are so much fun, and even now, 10 years later after playing them initially, I would love to have a Game Boy Advance and pick them up and play through them again. Yeah, so those are the top 5 games that really made an impact on me, not really listed in any order. So what are some games that you really like and that made an impact on you, Brian? I'd love to hear you talk about them in a future video, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow.